To the left pole side of the vessel in the blue corner, supporting that of your resident executive chef of the Sirena, it's Gabriele! Have a good one, boys. Take it easy here. All right. Welcome. I want a good clean fight, boys. Keep it above the belt, all right? All right, easy, Tiger. All right, this is the moment you've been waiting all your life.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Bless you. The excitement. I'm going to have to change my pants in a minute. There's no denying it's an exciting morning. So with lots to look forward to, we've recreated the galley. Your kitchen awaits, along with that of your adoring fans. Yves,
thank you.
Gabriele, have fun. Let me hear you one last time.
Thank you, Peter. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this cooking demonstration. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very pleased to have Chef Gabriele next to me as well.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Today we're going to do a little bit of a cook-off. Like Peter said, I used to have a restaurant. Coming from a culinary background, I finished culinary school back in 1988. And achieved my master's degree in hotel marketing and management, and then worked in about 30 restaurants. And then I went at sea, and in between I came back for about 3 years, had my restaurant in Bruges. And then I came back here in 2004, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I was one of the first executive chefs at that time. So I stayed about 5 years in that capacity. Then I became food and beverage, and now already 10 years in this capacity as general manager, so I'm actually part of the furniture here. So. But I still love the kitchen. And I'm very proud that I can work here because we really care about food. And even now if I pass by the galley, they don't call me Yves, they don't say sir, they don't say GM, no, they say chef. Yeah. How are you, chef? But still they call me chef, which I really like. So today I wanted to bring you something that is typical from Belgium. It's not chocolate, it's not waffles, it's not endives, it's not beer. I'm going to bring you mussels. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about mussels. It's an easy recipe, and I've given you a history about mussels a little bit, where they come from, what are the sizes, where they grow, how many kinds of growing cultures you have for the mussels. So you have a little bit of history that you can read later. But basically there's a lot of news about mussels or fables about mussels. We are very, very known and famous for the mussels, but actually, to be honest, do you know where mussels are coming from? Which country? All over the world, but in Brussels and in Belgium, you would think that we are proud of having our own Belgian mussels, but actually we don't. We do get them from Holland, from New Zealand, you know. About 80 million kilos, 90 million kilos a year are going to be distributed through Belgium and to France. So it's a huge amount of mussels. But yeah, actually they're coming from Ierseke. This is a small village close on the northern part of Netherlands, and is right across from the border for Belgium. But okay, we take the credit for those mussels because we are famous for the Belgian mussels. Everywhere you go in Belgium, you can see mussels on the restaurants. You know. And I want to explain you a few steps, how to clean them, how to prepare them, and what you can do with the leftovers. So today I will make for you a regular Mussels Moules Marinieres, or this is with white wine. Or then I'm going to make, from the leftover, I'm going to make a Bye soup, and I will show you how you can make also gratinated mussels. So 3 recipes in one. Okay? Jeff? So mussels with the vegetables and the soup as well. Okay? So it's pretty easy. You have the vegetables that are on your list. Always use more onions and celery, a little bit of carrots and leek. Not too much of those because otherwise it becomes too sweet. And then you have all the other ingredients. So I will start sweating those. And before I do that, I just want to reiterate how important it is to wash the mussels, because that is the most important. If you start from this one, then you cannot do one. A mussel is a shellfish that lives on the bottom or lives on a string if it's being cultivated. And basically it filters all kind of debris and little microorganisms that are living in the ocean. And that's how it's feeding itself. So now, if you have a mussel and you would just rinse it once and cook it, a lot of that dirt is still going to be in the mussel. So here's a trick which I used to do in my restaurant. You take a big bowl of water, put a few spoons of flour inside of the water, then throw your mussels in there, let them sit for a few minutes, and they will start, opening and taking water inside of them. They will feel the flour and they will spit out the flour. And by doing that, any kind of sand will cooking. But Jacques Pepin told me one thing: always taste what you're cooking with.
Yes. Good.
It's true, no?
I didn't have coffee this morning. So
Actually, Jacques Pepin is coming here the 22nd of December.
yes. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I won't be here.
I will.
Yes. So I miss this part. I always wanted to see him.
See if it's good enough to cook with.
Oh yes, definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we're gonna have like half an hour break. So we'll see you later on.
So chef, just quickly, I put here all my vegetables. Nice. So this is the base of the mirepoix. I have the celery, the onion, the carrots, a little bit of leek, my bay leaf, my thyme, my garlic, and a lot of butter. It's important, don't be shy on the butter. I'm going to let this sweat now. I'm not going to use salt for this recipe, only pepper. So I let the vegetables sweat for a few seconds, a few minutes, and then I will add the mussels that I washed, okay? Still so far very easy, huh? In the meantime, what I can make, that is also typical in Belgium, we always serve a little dip sauce with the mussels. So the idea is that when you eat the mussel, you use one that you use as a pinch or like a clip that you will use to eat the other mussel, and you dip it in the sauce basically. So how to show you. For example, instead of using a spoon or a fork, what you do is you use one of those, and you just take out the mussel from the next one. We have to be a little bit skilled with this. It's like chopsticks for Belgian guests. And then you eat like that, okay? And this is how it's done. All right? And this you dip first, when it's coming out, you dip it in the sauce that I will prepare for you now. So how is that sauce made? Very simple. It's there again on the recipe sheet. It's 2/3 of mayonnaise, 1/3 of mustard, a little bit of white wine vinegar. Can be very acid and sharp in taste, and some chives, okay? So in the meantime, I will prepare that one.
Yes, absolutely.
You see?
You can do many things. As Mr. Yves said, the kitchen is all your fantasy. You have the base as well the recipe. Of course, you have your skill, you have your knowledge, and then you can use your fantasy, your creation to do many wonderful dishes. So with this gnocchi, I'm gonna do a sauce which is sweet and savory. I'm gonna use pearl. I'm gonna caramelize them with sugar and butter, and I'm gonna add gorgonzola. This combination with the pearl and gorgonzola and the chocolate gnocchi is gonna be fantastic. So
That's
I have
a
my
strange combination, but it sounds good, and I'm sure it will work. Hopefully. So my sauce is ready. This will go on the side. Oei! It's ready. Okay, my vegetables are now, like they would say in Italy, al dente. So I'm going to add my mussels to it. Now, I do apologize. I've been looking in Funchal with four vendors, trying to buy some fresh mussels, and unfortunately we could not get them because I would have loved to put them on the menu the next day for you, but we did not manage that. Okay, here I have mussels that were dehydrated. All you have to do is put them in water and they come up again. Nobody's questioning me, so you're not listening. Huh? these are not dehydrated mussels. These mussels are frozen, okay? All right. Add a little bit of pepper. And when you go to Belgium, you will see they always use the same, I think they call it a Dutch oven. It's like this little black pans with the lid that is on top. Black or blue they have the color. It's like 1.2 kilo will fit in. And there is a reason for that, why the cover is so light. Because normally you have to cook the mussels on a very high heat, and the water and the juice from the mussels will tilt, or tilt the cover. And once the cover starts to come up, then you will see that it's time to shake your mussels, put the cover back on, and give them 1 more or 2 more minutes, okay? So now I have here my mussels, all the vegetables, a little bit of the wine. And do we have some water here, chef? I can take maybe a bit of this water.
Sure.
Yeah. Because normally the fresh mussels, they would have more juice or water in them, so I just have to be a little bit inventive today. So and now we put it on a very high heat, and then I will shake them later, and we're almost there. All right, that's it from me, chef.
So I put some butter in my pan, brown sugar, and
well, in the war, somebody said the war, the soldiers, what they were eating was little fish. I think it was in the 1918, and they were trying to eat French fries, little fish that they were catching from the river. But at a certain time, the river was constantly frozen, so they couldn't go anymore to take the little fish. So they started doing potatoes, the only thing that they had left, starting to cut them in small pieces, and they started to fry them. And because they were fighting mainly against the French at that time, they called them French fries, basically to laugh in their face at that time. And from there, the history started of the word French fries. Okay? Now, it's important for French fries, when you make it, that you cook it in advance and you poach it, okay? So you slice it like a centimeter thick, 7 centimeters long, and then you wash it, that the starch comes out. You strain it in a towel, make sure the potatoes are dry. You put it in oil at 140 degrees, very important, okay? It's like you're going to poach the potato in the oil. It will take about 4 or 5 minutes. Then you lift the basket, and if you can press with your finger the potato and squeeze it, basically, it is ready. Then you put it on a tray, let it cool down, and then before service, when you need it, you cook it for the second time in oil of 180 degrees Celsius. Clear? That is how you make the best French fries. Right? They should be like this size. And here you can see, if you press them, they're ready. Okay? This is our French fry and our mustard sauce. So now I can see my mussels start to steam. Okay, the plate is very heavy, so it's not going to lift it. So I will just have to do it manually. Oh, chef, they're all open.
wow,
Actually, they were already open.
you choose nice one.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
We're just going to shake it. See, it's important that the vegetables from the bottom come now on the top, all right?
So
And we give it a few more minutes.
by the time Mr. Yves shaking,
Now I'm going to portion my mussels in my plate. And the idea is that you scoop some of the jus, because you have to eat it with the jus. And of course, you have different recipes. I put you a few ideas there. Now I use white wine. Of course, in Belgium, you can use a very good beer. Why not? You can use, for example, a Leffe or a table beer. Then you can do mussels à la Provençale, which you put tomatoes in there and a little bit of mushrooms, like a Provençal sauce with herbe de Provence. You can do mussels with, you can add cream and curry, that you have mussels à l'indienne. You can do mussels with where we use breadcrumbs and more butter, which is called Moules Trio. And there's so many different versions you can do. of making mussels. And you know they're low in calories, huh? So it's not bad. So finish it always off.
So I'm
with a little
finishing,
bit of
I'm
parsley.
finishing my sauce. As you see, my sauce is nice. You have nice reduction. At the end, I just add the cheese. The
To
cheese.
make the Billy Bye soup with it. And I don't know, did I tell already who's Billy Bye? No? I guess we have to Google it then. Billy Bye was a rich industrial gentleman that lived in the late 1800s and died in 1909. And he used to own a lot of, he was an industrial doing in iron and metal. And he was a millionaire, and he was living most of the time in France, close to Brittany. And he was famous to go to a restaurant in Paris, and that's where they created this recipe. Actually, it's not Billy Bye here. I think it's written with Y-E, but it should be B-I, because the name of the gentleman was, if I'm not mistaken, William B. Leeds. Somebody heard of William B. Leeds? By the time he died, 1909, he had $900 million on his account, and his son William B. Leeds Jr. took over the business at that time. And that's where they created this recipe, because they had nice mussels in Brittany. And in Paris, one famous chef created that recipe just by using the stock of the mussels, adding cream, saffron, and then a little bit of liaison. A liaison is a mixture of cream and egg yolk, which is a starch. Okay, it's like arrowroot or cornstarch, but it's more, I would say, less healthy, but better in flavor. So this is the soup that I will show you. All I need now is the stock of the mussels, but it's important when you sift it or you filter the sauce, you can do it through a cheesecloth or just transfer it to a bowl and let it sit for a few minutes. In case there's still some sand or dirt inside, it will go to the bottom. When you pour it into your soup, don't pour the last centimeters of the juice, okay? So I'll do that for the meantime.
So now I'm going to proceed.
As a garnish inside of my soup plate, and then I'm going to finish the Billy Bye soup.
So I will add just a little bit of salt.
I'm going to take the mussel out of the shell and put it back on half shell, because then I'm later going to put it under the salamander with the ingredients, which is bread, olive oil, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of paprika you can add, and then we're going to gratinate them. So it's a very good leftover dish, which is good with a glass of wine before you start dinner, or beer. Very nice. And again, it doesn't cost much money. You know, if you cannot finish the mussels at lunchtime, you can have them the next day for lunch or dinner again, you know. And it's something different.
So out of the
Mussel jus or liquid, and adding some cream. You have the cream here,
Yep.
chef.
So I'm going to blend it slow. So I don't want to over mix the mixture, and the mixture will become hot and will start to cook.
So in my soup, I'm going to add, there's a lot of flavor inside of this already. I'm just going to add some saffron, and I still like the best saffron is coming from
Italy.
where?
La Mancha.
Spain. Exactly. And actually this is Spanish saffron. And you know how I know that?
It's written on the box.
It was written on the box. There we go.
So I get my mousse with all my ingredients. The mousse must be a little bit thick. So I will increase the power. So my mousse is ready.
Wow.
I just gonna set aside. You see, the mousse is thick
How?
because of the egg and the cream. So that's what I have before. All the cut it, small pieces. So I use it to cut.
So what is a farce, chef?
The farce is basically something which you are going to stuff with.
Ah,
So the farce, you can have the farce chicken farce, meat farce, Wellington farce is a farce. So it's something that is binding something else.
Okay.
So for example, in this case, I have the Doversol, and the farce is binding the Doversol together and creating a timbal.
Oh,
Or you can have the Doversol whole one, you can put the farce in the middle, and then you can roll it. So you have a Doversol roll. To cook this one, I will use a pot. I'm gonna put my timbal inside.
Steam it.
Yes. I'm gonna put it on the fire, on the stove. Little bit of water. I'm gonna cover with another pot. So what it does, it's gonna cook. By the time the water is evaporating, it's touching the top of this one and it's coming back. And it's gonna be a circulation of water, which is gonna be steam. It's gonna steam my Doversol. It will take about 10 minutes to 15 minutes. By the time this is cooking, I'm gonna make the sauce. So if you have oven, don't worry. You can use it oven, of course. You have at home, you are in your kitchen, you have everything what you need. So you put steam roast, 150 for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You just leave it without the water. The steam roast of the oven will do the work. So I don't have oven. However, I'm gonna do this trick with the water and it's gonna create a steam. It's gonna be like my small little oven. So,
Cheap version of an oven.
I don't have water. I'm gonna put wine.
Hey, I could give you water here, my friend. No, it's too late.
So,
The flavor of the wine will
yes,
enhance the fish.
absolutely.
Chef, I have made quickly my liaison here, which I will put in the end of the soup now. So I used a very little cream and 2 egg yolks. And as soon as it hits the bottom of the pan, you'll see that it will start giving a thickness, a little bit of a thickness. And it's like you make carbonara instead of using cream, you use parmesan.
Now we're talking.
But this is then basically also the egg yolk is going to starch the soup. But it's very important, do not let it boil. Huh? If you let it boil, you have mussels with scrambled eggs. Huh? So, all right, I'm ready here with my, the soup can go on top.
Now, I'm gonna make a sauce for my timbal. So I'm waiting when it's boiling.
Mussel soup Billy Bye.
Wow.
There we go. Thank you.
Very nice. Lovely.
Lovely job.
So when it starts to boil, that's the time I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna lock. So I don't want that this.
So I will change the rating now a little bit more.
Awesome. So now I'm going to build my actually timbal. So I will use a little bit of butter. I will just spread around my container or my ramekin, as you call it.
Freshly made breadcrumbs, okay? Rather than this brown, dry stuff of this panko.
Nice.
But here is important, as this is fresh, when you try to broil it, it's important you put some moisture in there, which we're going to do here by adding either clarified butter or olive oil, okay? Otherwise, if you would put it too dry like that, you put it on the broiler, it's going to burn immediately. So I'm just going to add garlic, a little bit parsley, chives, a bit of paprika, and my olive oil, and I'm going to stuff my leftover mussels on the shell, okay? Everybody still following me? Pretty simple, huh?
So now I'm gonna put my shrimp. I cut them. I want to give shape because it's gonna hold them when I'm going to plate it. One more. I fold them. Paprika. Just gonna see them, and this is gonna be. It's like my, as well my presentation. So the shrimp doesn't take long. It's very quickly to toast. So I don't want them as well to overcook them. I'm just gonna sear them to have a nice coloration. And this is as well the base of the sauce. Because this one, it will give me a flavor or my lemon and orange beurre blanc. So at this stage, the shrimp is caramelized. I will put the wine.
Chef, mamma mia.
So, caramelize it.
Look at this.
Wow, it's lovely,
Look at
huh?
that. Perfect, you know.
Beautiful,
not too wet,
nice,
not too dry.
moist. Fantastic.
Fantastic. I can stay, yeah? Okay. So now I'm just going to stuff them.
So, I have my shrimp. The sauce is ready. So I'm going to take them out. I'm gonna keep them on the side. And I'm going to, later, I'm going to bring them back. So with this base now, I'm going to add lemon juice, orange juice, and I'm going to thickening a little bit with the lemon somewhere, right? So it's about orange.
And just
Lemon.
to top it off, I'll finish it with some oil.
Get nice acidity of the citrus.
And I'm going to put this in the broiler now, okay? I know when I'm a chef, this is 2-3 days in advance, they start to work on that. So I always highly respect the guys in the galley, and not only in the galley, the restaurant, because it's a lot of work, but it's something really fantastic. So I'm happy that you enjoyed it. So thank you, chef.
Thank you very much for everything. Everybody who attends. So I will pass the message to all my chefs. So everybody enjoy, everybody have nice culinary delight last brunch. So I'm very, very happy. So asparagus, I have few asparagus here.
Look at that, chef. How they came out. Yeah? Wow, that's it. So now I'm just going to serve them on a little bit of rock salt, like you would do with oysters. Please they stay stable on this. Wow, it's so hot. See, look. I mean, this is fantastic, you know, when you have like a walk-in dinner and you have a little, all this nice gourmet bites. It's fantastic to serve that to your guests, you know, they're going to love this. Okay. And the trois, et voilà. Oh, chef, look.
Look
Et
at
voilà,
it.
le
Beautiful.
moule gratiné.
Voila.
Make fresh breadcrumbs. I'll see if it's working because I'm not sure, it's a little bit too fresh still. I'm going to try to make it in the food processor and see if I can use fresh breadcrumbs instead of the ones that you buy, because I think it's still better to use the fresh one. Okay.
So
My
as
soup
you
is boiling.
As you see, I start the bottom with the medallion of my Dover sole. I put already fresh parsley all around the plate. And there we go. You have your Dover sole and scallop timbal with shrimp and lemon orange beurre blanc.
Wow, fantastic. Fine cuisine, bistro. Amen. No, this is a picture, very nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so we have the mussels. I hope you learned something in general about mussels, about French fries, a little bit of history, Bye Mussel Soup, and then the mussels gratinated, and then from the chef.
You have gnocchi with chocolate, pear and gorgonzola, and you have Dover sole and scallop timbal with orange and lemon beurre blanc, caramelized shrimp, and asparagus.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much
for coming. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
You this time.
If there's no dimensions on
Thank you.
this, can you
Chef?
Yeah.
The recipe is missing.
Which one?
Golden scallops and scallops ten both. I didn't realize that.
Me too. I'm gonna check with the.
Which room are you in?
4051. 4051.
That's okay. You guys had a party that night, try to scoop off the page on. I don't see it.